peoples. I know y'all heard that. Anywho's, welcome back to the stream, peoples. Hope y'all are doing all right. I had to go to Walmart. I had to go to Walmart and get some groceries. But yeah, we're back for the stream, folks. Thanks for coming. Don't forget, y'all got to say something because I don't want to be seeming crazy thinking I'm talking to myself. So, hey, how's everyone? Is everybody good? Again, I had to go to the store. I was supposed to start streaming earlier than this, but I was being head ass and I was finishing work and I was being head ass after work, and then I had to go fucking grocery shopping. So I had to do all of that. And I got a Sprite. I'm gonna take a sip before we get into it. Like, we about to get into it. Yeah. Okay. Um, Not too much, man. Not too much. We about to get into talking about this movie that I seen recently. So I don't want to. First of all, for the folks that's up here, how many of y'all have seen him? If anybody has seen it, please tell me. You don't even got to do too much. You can just be like, boop, like a little. I think you know what I mean. Somebody tell me. Come on, y'all. Y'all got to talk to me. This is interaction. Mm, that's good. But yeah, so recently, y'all, I went to go see him on the new movie. As you can see, I got the poster right here. And so I went to go see him. And so I wanted to talk about a little bit because I've heard people say like, oh, yeah, because Jordan Peele produced it. Oh, like this is one of like Jordan Peele's like worst movies as far as like his catalog. But mind you, most of his catalog are movies that he directed, not produced. He may have produced and directed, but mostly directed. So this one was not directed by him. He produced it. So basically, where's my iPad? I feel like I need my iPad so I could go through like the shit. But I have my other phone here. But I'm gonna give y'all a little synopsis of what him is about. Him synopsis. So, but yeah, I went to go see it on Tuesday, Discount Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So basically, the film synopsis is Cameron Cade is a rising quarterback who suffers a potentially career-ending injury. I can't even read. Injury. Career-ending injury. Say that 3 times fast. Anywho, after being attacked by an unhinged fan, just when all seems lost, Cam receives a lifeline when his hero Isaiah White offers to train him at an isolated compound. However, as the training accelerates, Isaiah's charisma turns into something darker, sending Cam down a disorienting rabbit hole that may cost him more than he ever bargained for. Okay, so that's the synopsis, y'all. Basically, right, if you haven't seen this movie, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be spoilers. I'm gonna try to do my best to sort of just give my perspective, but it's gonna be spoilers. But I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I was a little late. Get into the fucking movies. I missed like the part where they said like he got attacked by a fan. I missed that part because that was like the very beginning. Because when I got there, it was the title scene, but it wasn't too much. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm pretty sure it was like a little bit shorter than obviously what I missed. Because it was like the movie started at like 9:40. Previews go until like what 9 or 10 because it's like 15 to 20 minutes. So I had got there a little after 10. So yeah, it couldn't have been that long as far as how much I missed. But I will watch it again. So yeah, basically, right. I didn't get to see that part of the movie, but overall the movie for me, our first watch, I feel like the movie was a 8.92. Now, the reason why I give it an 8.92, well really I'm gonna back up for a second. Before I seen this movie, I seen like one trailer ish because I was trying to stay away from when I really want to see a movie. I try to stay away from, I try to stay away from the trailers and all that type of shit and like the discourse. And so on Twitter, I follow a lot of like horror movie people, and like they be having discourse on Twitter, and I kept seeing people say like, him, it wasn't good, or one of Jordan Peele's worst movies. And I seen the Rotten Tomatoes the Rotten, what is it called, Rotten Tomatoes score, like film score or whatever. And so basically, I think right now on Rotten Tomatoes, let me see, Rotten Tomatoes, Rotten Tomatoes. See, this is real time fact checking. Niggas ain't doing this. Anyway, yeah, it got, right now it has, the tomato meter is 31%, popcorn meter is 57%. So there's like 170 something reviews as far as the 31%. So I gave it an 8.92 off first watch. Now, I feel like because I missed the beginning, it could have been a solid. Stop trusting critic, because that's what I'm saying. And then another thing on top of that, another thing is a lot of the people that was giving this discourse, or like saying that it wasn't good, I feel like it might have been some bias because they were white. They were white. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying. But yeah, people, it is subjective on the movie and stuff like that. However, with me, I gave it an 8.92. I feel like I left some points off because I missed the beginning, so I can't, give it a full, But for the most part, yeah, I took some points off for that. And then I also, because it could have been a flat 9, like straight 9 off first watch. Because for me, I really liked the, like it has, for me, it has body horror, like a lot of it. I like gore and I like blood. So it had a lot of that, and I really appreciate it. And and it was like cringe. Like, think about like football, you know what I mean? And how they be doing the scans and the fucking injury. Like, it's very much like cringe. And so if you don't like body horror and you don't like, that type of horror or whatever, I don't think you'll like it too much, or you may not rate it as high. But yeah, for me, that was sort of the reason why it was on the higher end of the scale, because I am a whore. I really, really enjoy yeah, gore, blood, all that type of stuff. And I think some of the like practical effects that they used was hard as fuck. Like, honestly, that was hard as fuck. In my opinion. Like, bruh, it was this one scene. It was this one scene where they were like training, and Buddy was like, he's a quarterback, so Buddy was like, working on his like targets, right, hitting all the players, right, and he wasn't like hitting them like Marlon or Isaiah, that's his name, like he wanted him, like they, it wasn't clean, it wasn't crisp, like it wasn't exactly how it needed to be, right? So basically, while they doing this exercise, there was one dude, like they were like, okay, like who's gonna volunteer while he like tries to get his shit together, basically. And so this dude, I think he was either like white or Hispanic or spicy white, one of them. And so basically that motherfucker volunteered, right? And I didn't know what was gonna happen. He went like the little shit, you know how like, I don't know if you know this, but you know how like they have like that football thing and it spin and like shoot the ball out. Yeah, like they work on like catching the ball with it or whatever. And so basically, like, they had that, right, and they would put the footballs in it, but he won't catching them bitches, like he won't working on his grip. That motherfucker was getting hit in the face. He was getting hit in the face with the football, like full speed noggin. Like, this is the like machine, this is this nigga face. He getting fucking mollywop with the damn pig scanner. That shit was crazy as fuck to me, man. So like shit like that is cringe because they keep doing it over and over. Like, he was getting his shit fucked. Like, it was hitting his shit. He got hit in the face at least 4-5 times. So like when they finally showed like the end of it in his face, his shit was fucked. And I was like, damn, they kicked that nigga. But it was because he wasn't like landing. That he wasn't landing the fucking like spots, like he wasn't hitting the targets for real. until he got it together, they kept doing that. And I'm just like, obviously that's crazy, right? However, that's sort of like the premise of this movie, right? It's like it started off like, okay, right, football player, he doing what he do, damn, he gets injured or whatever, right? And so basically he has to like he just dresses up like he doesn't like play right now because of the injury. This nigga got a fucking, I don't know. It was like a concussion split because he had fucking staples in his head. But yeah, I'm telling y'all right now, if you ain't seen this movie, it's gonna be spoilers. Okay, so if you ain't seen it, I'm just saying. But yeah, he got the staples in his head. What's his name? Tyreek. uh, yeah, he did pretty well as far as like this role. I don't know if this is like his biggest or like debut role because I know I remember him from Atlanta in that one episode. However, I don't know if this is his like debut like movie role or not, but I will say he was pretty solid. He was pretty solid. I will say that. Um, but also, what was I saying? Okay, yeah, he had fucking staples in his head, right? Nigga had staples in his head, and so he had to just like suit up. He wasn't playing like they was. I think he was like this, senior year, looking towards college or was in college. It was one of the two. I think he might have been like in college and he had to like sit out or whatever. And so basically he thought, he was trying to figure out what the fuck was going on, like what he was gonna do. And it was looking real rough for him. So he basically had to go like do a photo shoot or something where he had to do something for the school. And went to this party, got fucked up, was just fucked up. And then he ended up getting a call from Marlon. In the movie, his name is Isaiah. Like, that's his character's name. So he get a call from Isaiah talking about, oh, yeah, like, I'll help you out. I'll get you back right. We can train. Mind you, Isaiah is like the top fucking, I don't know if it's like, well, it was like SF something. It wasn't like NFL, but think of it like a version of the NFL. So basically, he's like Tom Brady of this shit. You feel me? Well, was Tom Brady a quarterback? Yes. But yeah, he like Tom Brady, right? He like Tom Brady of this shit, right? So he's like, boom, like, I'll train you, yada, 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 woo, woo. And, but Tyreek Cade in this, Cameron Cade, in this fucking movie, his name is Cameron. But Cam, right, he like, boom, bet, like, niggas up, like, I'm gonna get right, boom, right? So, mind you, like, the character of Isaiah is, like, he's chill at first. And I think Marlon did a really good job of, like, transforming his character over the course of the movie. I do think he did a really good job at that because at first it's like, okay, like, let's go, coach. Like, he's just intense, you know what I mean? But then he start like, this nigga's crazy. And so, basically, he like reach out to him. He like, yeah, boom, like come to my compound, we'll do it. This nigga's house is like in the middle of no fucking where. It's like a fucking desert, and his house is over there. So he pull up, like he gets dropped off over there. But as they're pulling up, which is like a foreshadowing type of thing, they're pulling up, and it was like these like cult ass niggas. Like they had like body paint on and I don't know, skulls on. It was very much like post apocalyptic cult shit. And so it was like a foreshadowing, right? Of certain things. And so the underlying, I would say the underlying thing for me was sort of the ideological thing of like idolization, but we'll get back to that. Yeah, so he pull up to the jump. Shit's in the desert. He get in there. Isaiah is like, what's up, man? Like, boom, boom, boom. In his house, he got the same shit these niggas outside, like, had on. But he was just, like, building. Like, he was in his safe space, right? And so, basically, he had, like, the horns and the shit and the cloths and everything. But it didn't look crazy. It just looked like maybe this is what he be creating, right? And so, fucking Cade, Cade, he gets there. He couldn't have no phones, so he had to get rid of his phone. And basically he going through, learning how shit go and how intense it's gonna be, as far as like getting himself back right. So again, initially it was fine. Initially it was fine because right, like obviously, but then what really like I think like a turning point was like the athletic trainer. That was sort of like the voice of reason throughout this whole movie, but nobody was like, not say paying him attention, but like nobody was paying him attention. And so the athletic trainer is a stand-up comedian that I like, that I have been watching for a little bit. His name is Jim Jeffries, and he's like, he from overseas. I think he's from Australia, but he's funny as fuck. He funny as fuck. And so, excuse me. Basically, fucking Jim, he's in there getting them right. And so they do a physical, they tell him like, okay, cool, we'll get you right, da 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 da. And so basically, one of the first scenes where it's like this shit is crazy because mind you, like he got this concussion, he's seeing shit. So one of the first scenes like where he start seeing shit is when like I'm trying to think, was he? No, he wasn't. Okay, so one of the first scenes where we notice like he's starting to see shit is basically in this scene where he's in the ice bath, and he in the ice bath. Marlon Isaiah is over here, and he got like this blood transfusion thing going on, right? And so basically, it's supposed to help with oxygen flow, yada yada woo woo. However, again, this is like foreshadowing because he like obviously, buddy, he think okay, like that's what you do, bro. So he didn't want to participate. So boom, he doing the blood thing. He ended up leaving, and it's just like bro and what's his name in the movie? Marco, Jim. It was just him and Marco in there, and they was talking about something I can't remember. And I think he ended up giving him some sort of shot. And I believe, the shot I believe was like blood, like some sort of blood, because like again, sort of like this movie, the underlying thing about this movie is like idealization. Football is like God. It's like a cult, you know what I mean, in this movie. And so basically it's like I would say it's almost like the Illuminati of football. Like that's the best way I can put it. And so basically, right, the Illuminati of football, you know what I'm saying? He get this shot, and I believe it's blood like of one of the former players, because again, like they have this thing of passing down certain shit because it's like a ritual. Like it's like a little bit what's the word I'm looking for? Not paranormal, but it's a little bit like occult. Like not a cult, but like a cult, like OCC cult. A cult. It's a little bit like that. Like there's this presence or whatever. Omnipresence of like I guess the former players and like all that stuff. So the blood to me seems like the blood of Jesus as far as like how they were using it in the movie. Like he's putting the blood into his system almost as if like he's drinking the blood of Jesus, and it's like the blood of the former player before him because they were sacrificed. They were sacrificed, and so it was like passed down to the next person. So basically it was like Isaiah, and then the quarterback before him, and then quarterback before him. Basically it was like somewhat long running, if you will. And so basically going back to the scene I'm talking about where he was in the ice bath, he gave him like a shot of blood or something. I don't know. He gave him a shot of blood. This is like how I do the shot. Why is my hand ashy? Y'all see that? Anywho, basically he gave him a shot of blood, and like it get him right immediately. Like immediately it get him right. Everything that was broke is in place. All that, right? Again, this is like ritual, spiritual blood, right? And so boom, like everything is like better. And so this is like in that same scene, he like goes under the water, and I think he like sees something. I can't remember what he seen, but he seen something because there was like different images that were popping up that he was seeing that were sort of like a foreshadowing to the end, as far as like when they actually did like the ritual. And so basically they're like prepping him for what he's about to enter without telling him. So like they giving him this blood, get him right. He's taking it like often. What else? He's taking it often, and then again, like the athletic trainer is like the voice of reason. He's trying to say like, "Hey man, like." He's saying it somehow. It's like unclear to bro because he's so locked in on trying to get right. But like he's like, "Hey man, like this nigga's crazy." Look, you don't know what you get yourself into. I done sold my life for this shit. He was trying to tell him. He basically was trying to forewarn Buddy, like, hey, like, I fucked up. Don't be me. Basically, is what bro was saying. So boom, right. I think another thing that I liked about it is like, I can't say like white savior because the dude, the athletic trainer, he's white. I don't want to say white savior, but the fact that the white person is like the voice of reason and they didn't listen to him was a little interesting because like if you think about other movies, like black movies, for instance, like Get Out, where like the black dude was telling bro, the TSA, Lil Rel was telling bro like, hey, like don't fuck with that white bitch. Don't go out there. And so obviously he didn't listen, but like for me seeing certain movies and seeing like the not gender, like the race of it all like play out, to me it was like, yeah, fuck that white man. But at the same time, it's like that white man gotta know something. He gotta know something, goddamn, for niggas to be like, telling him, watch your back, basically. And so moving forward, they were training, and I think after like he was initially after he initially got in there and they were doing the training, because mind you, another like thing that I liked about this was the name of the football team that they were playing for was called the Saviors. So I really think like this team and who owns it, it was literally like the Illuminati. The Illuminati of the football league or whatever the fuck. And so basically, what was I saying? Ice bath, and then that, and then it was like there was one scene where they was doing like, how can I explain it? Like I guess they was scrimmaging, and Buddy like Cam, he was like like he was like into it. He was saying like, yeah, like you gotta really get into it. And this was like a scene where Marlon like got like showed his like true colors, where it's like, I'm gonna need what you gonna sacrifice? That was like the shit that you see, like the trailer you seen. Like, what are you gonna sacrifice? What are you gonna? He was in that nigga face, like he was intense. Like I felt it. Like that was good acting. Not gonna lie, he ate down with that. But yeah, fucking, he had a really good scene where he basically was telling bro like, what are you gonna sacrifice? Da 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 da. And he was like, I'm gonna sacrifice everything, because he was like basically saying like how his family means so much to him and his girl, and basically Marlon was trying to get him to a point of like, you gotta let go of all that shit, man. You can't give a fuck, basically, is what Buddy was saying. And so fucking, it got to the point where he was like in his head, and Cam, like they was scrimmaging, he had like knocked this nigga out. Family, football, family, God. Well, but yeah, fucking, he had got to the point of like, they was scrimmaging, and Cam was so locked in that this motherfucker like, ugh. He fucking like head butted. Like I don't know if he was trying to go in for a tackle or what. He was trying to kill that nigga. Okay, he fucking went in and like slammed against the nigga, and the nigga went back as fuck. Like you could see like the X-ray, the way they like did the shot. You could see the X-ray of like how it was. Like he wasn't concussed. That nigga was more than concussed. He was more than concussed. That nigga was fucked. He was fucked. Like he never got up. He never got up. And so basically, he hit that nigga. That nigga go back like that. Like that nigga was like he hit him so hard he fell on the ground and was like that nigga would like twitch it like he was like having a seizure or something. And I'm just like, bro. And nigga, he was like, yeah, yeah. And then he came to his senses like, oh shit. I really hit that nigga. And so they was like, he on the ground having a fucking seizure, and they like getting into a huddle talking about everybody say amen. I'm like, this nigga's on the ground. Is nobody gonna do nothing? Right, they started getting into the huddle, like hyping each other up. And I'm like, this nigga is about to die. And y'all are talking about some, amen, 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 amen. That's how you know it's a fucking ritual. Cause what? And then, so he's like on the ground. Niggas is like, what the fuck? And they just having a little huddle shit. And what happened after that? Damn, I'm trying to think what happened after that. Oh, it was the sauna. I'm skipping parts because I don't want to give too much away. But it was the sauna scene. LOL, I feel like these are the main scenes. Anyway, it was the fucking sauna scene. Hang on, y'all. I gotta tell people to join my stream. Join my stream. Join my stream. LOL. Tell your friends to join my stream, people. Because this is good. This is good conversation, ain't it? Ain't it? I don't know. Anyway, the sauna scene. So boom, mind you. So let me take a step back. So you all remember when I had said when they had came to the compound, it was these people on like outside on the way into it or whatever. They looked kind of crazy, they looked like a cult or whatever. One of them had like one of them stood out. It was a lady, and basically as they're driving past, she sees like Cam in the window, and she's like, "We don't want you here. We don't want you here." And everybody's in the car is like, "What the hell?" And so, fast forward back to what I was saying, the sauna scene. So boom, I think it was after the scrimmage thing, and he knocked them out, right? And so basically, they in the sauna. They talking, chopping it up, and fucking. My thing is, bro, I feel like Marlon was really, really good because he kept going in between like breaking and like staying sane. Because when they was in that sauna scene, I feel like there was parts of him that was like, okay, like I'm Isaiah, but then there was parts of him like that were really hurt, like the broken parts, and he was like trying to suppress them. And I think that's what's making him fucking crazy on top of like this ritual stuff. Anywho's. But like he was really good at sort of playing between like, not say stern, but stoic and like broken, in my opinion, in that scene. And so basically they talking about, you know, life, and Marlon's like, I want you to be better than me, you know what I'm saying? Like da 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 da, yada yada yada, woo woo. And so Cam is like, you know, I feel you. And so he leaves out. And so the temperature in the sauna starts going up for some reason. Like it started getting hot as fuck in there. And Cam can feel that shit. Yeah, I'm gonna watch some footage. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch some film. I'm gonna go watch some tape. He kept saying that. And I'm like, right. He said, I'm gonna go watch some tape. And so boom. LOL, y'all. Hold on. Let's take a quick pause. So I had went to do a thing last night. I'm a reporter. So I went to do something last night. That hit me up talking about, did I see you last night? It was like one of the people involved in the thing. They was like, did I see you last night? And I was like, yeah, like, I believe so. If we was in the same place, yeah, you saw me. And they was like, I was nervous. Oh my God. And I was like, well, they texted me that and said like, oh, I was nervous. Oh my God. Mind you, like, this is like a person that is involved in like a community organization, and like I've only talked to them maybe once or twice. And so for you to be like, oh my God, I'm like, anywho's, back to the movie. Did y'all hear that? What's it? Swallow? Gulp. Do some ASMR for y'all. Wait, where is it? Here you go. ASMR. Anyway, okay, yeah, so he in the sauna, temperature is going up, and basically I think like Marlon was fucking with him too because like I feel like he knew it was like what was going on, but he was fucking with his head. And so basically, he's in there. Sauna's getting hot. He trying to enjoy himself, but it's hard. And as he's like, he has to lay down because it gets hot in there. And he's like trying to, get his shit right. And so the way the bench is, like he's laying on top, and you can see the bottom of the bench here. He's laying on top. And so some of the people that he's like that was like foreshadowed or for like seen in the, you know what I'm saying? The niggas that was like in the part where they was driving up, some of them, at least three of them. So it was two dudes and one lady. And so they're under the damn thing and they come out. I'm like, where the baby? How the fuck they even get in there? That was my first question. Like, how the fuck niggas even get in there? Or whatever. They must have snuck in. I don't know. Because there was a scene where somebody was like looking at him from outside. But that was in a different scene. But yeah, he's on the damn thing. He in there trying to get his like steam on. And they come out. They come out and the lady is like, he got his eyes closed. The lady comes out. She walks over to like it's like a, what's the word? Like a thing? I don't know. It's like a spot or whatever that has some like decorative rocks, or it's like where the steam is coming out of. And so boom, she grabs one of the rocks, and it's like good enough for her to hold in two hands. And she about to like come down on this nigga. He opened his eyes and he like, what the fuck? And he like, forces her away, but he ended up like killing her because obviously she was trying to kill him. And I'm like, I thought he was gonna like relax, but he was like he killed her. He choked her out. And so she ended up, suffocating or whatever. And he's like, oh my God, I just killed a bitch. And so fucking here come Marlon, man. This was another thing. Here come Marlon. Again, I feel like his acting was like really good. Cause here come Marlon. He see what happened. And he's like, I'm gonna clean this up. I'm gonna clean this up. You go ahead. Like, what the hell? Oh my God, that nigga's crazy. And then, like, again, he was seeing shit. And, like, Marlon, he hopped up on the blood juice. And so there was another scene where they was, like, doing a run. And I'm assuming they've been running for hours because that nigga threw up. And so they doing the run. Cam, he can't keep up. Marlon is just in that bitch. So Cam, he fucking throws up because he's been running so long. And fucking damn near passes out. I think he was either, like, really, like, overheated or he was, like, having a panic attack. I think it might have been a combination of both. But boom, he's fucking on the ground dying, literally. Hang on. He's literally on the ground dying. And this is another sort of situation where he sees some shit. And so basically he on the ground and he sees like one of they kind of, I don't want to say they dress kind of like mariachi, but they little like mariachi-esque. And so they come up and it's like a pickaxe that they have. And it was like swinging it like a golf like a golf club. Like a golf club. That was swinging it and it was like going, because he was laying on the ground and it was swinging it and it was going like, you know what I mean? But he like ended up snapping back basically. And so that's when like Marlon came up and he was like, you good? Get up. And this nigga's literally on the ground like this nigga can't get up. And so yeah, basically like that was a good scene. But I guess like some of the moments for me again, like moments of like the intensity of like the blood and like the cringe of it all, because they would show these like X-ray-ish like moments and it was like very cringe, but also like I like that shit. And so yeah, that to me was a little bit interesting. But I think something obviously that stands out is the climax of it all, because you have like the rising action and then you have the climax. So there was like the rising action where we finally find out what Marlon is talking about when he say he go watch some tape. Because we start to see him crack, right? We start to see him crack. And we see that the only reason why like he's doing what he's doing is because he's idolized by the fans. He do everything for for the fans, which is respectable, but he took it to another level. That's why I say it's like the Illuminati. Think of like you getting whatever it is that you want, obviously, and you have to sacrifice. And basically, what he wanted was football. So he had to sacrifice. And I believe that's why his thing was football, family, God. Because he literally seen football as like an idol. Like, sure, he has God in there, but football is like the idol. He's like, I'll do anything for football. um, and so it was like we start to see bro crack, and I'm like, okay, right. We go into his room because Cam, he finally wait. I'm moving too fast. Oh, before we get there was like the actual like ritual, if you will. Like it was like a smaller ritual and then the big one. There was a smaller ritual where Cam has to go to this party. Basically, he's doing all like the press runs and da 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 and like oh fucking Marlon's wife who's fucking Julia Fox, so she looking kind of crazy in that movie. And I think maybe that was the point to make her look other because of like all this other shit going on. You know what I mean? But he was married to Julia Fox in the movie, and so she's like this like charismatic like free white lady, and she's like like enjoy, we're here for you, and she seemed nice, but again like there's crazy shit going on amid all of this shit, right? And so they get to like the smaller ritual where he's invited to this party. He died for us, so we play for him. Literally, like treating him like Jesus, like treating them folk like Jesus. And I'm just like, okay, right? And so they get to the ritual, the smaller ritual where he's invited to this party, and basically this is where he like meets the owner. His fucking agent is there. That's another thing. That's another motherfucking thing because that agent, low-key, he ain't never sit right with me. At first, he was like, okay, maybe. But then, nah, his agent, his agent was always fucking messy. I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, his agent is there. His agent was messy. His agent was messy, bruh. Like, now that I'm thinking back to it, he was messy as fuck. He was plotting. Like, he was messy as fuck. The fucking agent for Cam, messy as fuck. Plotting on that, like, was waiting on his downfall because he probably was gonna get something out of that shit. But again, fucking white people. Anyway, yeah, so boom, right. They, his agent was there, the owner was there, all the people was there, and he like, yeah, like Cam this, Cam that. Like he really like not say kissing up to him, but like kissing up to them, like, da 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 da. And so basically like he has like wine as if like, and then there was like one thing, hold on. I don't know if this happened while he was at the compound or before, but there was like this scene where it was a reference to the Last Supper, and that shit was hard as fuck. Like hard as fuck. They got Cam in the middle and it's like people around him. I can't remember if it was before or after, but it was like a shot. Hold on. I'm about to see if I can find it so I can show y'all. Let me see him. Hold on. I'm a let me see video capture. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'm about to put y'all on to something. It was before. I was thinking so. Hold on, peoples. Screen capture. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, display capture. Okay. Hold on. That's not the right thing. Properties. Okay, boom. Okay, boom. Okay, so what we gonna do is we gonna move this up. Hold on, peoples. I'm trying to get it so y'all can see. Okay, so we gonna do that, and then we gonna do. Why is it so small? Oh wait, maybe I should like full screen it. That's why it's small. Okay, let's see if we can find. Let's see if we can find the fucking joint where it was like the Last Supper reference. Last Supper. Him, Last Supper, reference. Not gonna lie, that shit was hard as fuck to me. That shit was hard as fuck to me. Him. Okay, this is the Last Supper. It looked just like this. Like this is how it how it looked. Hold on. Can I zoom in? This is how it looked. However, I want to know if there's a way I can see him movie. I should have took a picture of that shit. Like that shit was hard. Is this it? No, that's not it. Damn. Damn, the movie too fresh, man. Okay, it said Who is this? Y'all see that shit? Talking about the fucking Last Supper is overly used. My thing is, in my opinion, I don't really give a fuck if it's overly used. It depends on how the fuck you use it. Hold on. Damn, I don't want to watch this, y'all. And then it got spoilers. Not say spoilers, but like it give too much away for y'all. I'm already giving too much away for y'all, but still, hold on. I don't want to like. I'm giving my own like thoughts on this. I don't want to hear nobody else's. At least like not these niggas. Let me see some. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna see if I can.
Oggi nasce il fascismo. Una creatura bellissima, fatta di ideali, di cambiamento, che conquisterà milioni di cuori. Sono sicuro anche.
So last night I saw the.
Damn, he got 65 views on this. Hold on, y'all. I'm about to see if I can find the Last Supper reference. Let me see. Oh, I will say they do have like some history stuff because they talked about the origins of like I don't think they have it in this one. They talked about the origins of like football and how like basically let me see Soldiers from Suns, Legend of the Mascot, Price of Greatness. I also think it ties into like Native American culture because of like if you see the imagery like the fucking skulls, the hides, like the way it was like it was almost like a somewhat tribish, you know what I mean? But it was a little bit more than that. That shit was a fucking cult. Okay, let me see y'all. I'm trying to see if I can find it for you now. This is bullshit. Hold on. Cause I want y'all to see it. Let's go back. Hold on. Damn. We ain't gonna be able to see it because obviously Last Supper scene, maybe? The Last Supper. This was 8 days ago. Let me see. They ain't got no pictures. That's what's fucked up about it. But yeah, picture the fucking shit. You know what I mean? Picture the Last Supper or whatever. It was just like this. And basically, hold on, open, new tab. Basically, it was like this. And Cam was Jesus. Cam was Jesus in the middle. And it had like his friends around him. And it was like this nice ass scene. It was hard as fuck. Like, it was hard as fuck. And so, basically, right, hold on, let me get my shit together, you know what I'm saying? Like, fucking, is this my, oh, okay, hold on, peoples. Trying to get my shit together here. Okay. But yeah, fucking where was I at? I don't remember. But yeah, Last Supper was a good reference. But yeah, the ritual and so he drinks they were drinking wine. I'm somewhat like wanted to believe it was like blood or like some sort of mixture with blood in it or whatever. And so that was like his like initiation. Like this party was his initiation. But then they actually had to like go through to like the actual main thing where he like basically gives himself over. So it's like, okay, like we easy you in, you drinking the blood or whatever. He gets like fucked up, and so basically the next day, Marlon Marlon is in this nigga room because niggas drunk as fuck, so he like obviously passed out. He's in his room with a gun. Like this is where we see Marlon break. He's in his room with a gun. He's like, he basically was asking him if he fucked his wife. He talking about, you fucked her? LOL. But yeah, we start to see him break in these sort of situations because Cam is like the next one. Like Marlon is about to like lose, if you will. Or like he'll have to like give himself up. Yeah, so the next person can take his place. I told y'all it's like this ritual passed down demon shit or whatever. But it's like biblical references because again, idealization. Idols. And so basically football is like Jesus. Right? And so boom. I need some chapstick. Quick break. Boom, right? They do the little party. They do a little party or whatever. And then they fucking go to it started to get to a point where Cam is like he feel all the shit. Like he's like, he took like one of them shots or whatever, like the blood shots I was telling y'all about. He took one because he was fucked up. I don't remember what happened. I don't know why he was so fucked up. But he was fucked up. And he took the shit to his heart. And that shit got him all the way together. All the way together. And so that motherfucker was like, it was like, you know, you taking drugs or something. That motherfucker was like high off the blood or whatever. And so he is looking for Marlon around the compound. He's looking for Marlon around the shit, right? And Marlon is in his office or like where he go to watch tape. And so that's why I say we see him break. Like after that ritual-esque party, we see him break because he know like his time is coming. So basically it turning into this thing of like a fight for the death. Like who's gonna take the position, who's gonna take the position or whatever. So basically Cam is like, yeah, like you ain't the one basically. And so they like go at it and they fighting. Both of them hyped off the juice. And these motherfuckers, Marlon, his form of watching tape is this fat ass screen on the fucking ceiling, and it ain't nothing but fans cheering. Like it's nothing but fans cheering. It's like, ah. He's just like, we do it for the fans, or whatever. And so boom, they get into it, right? They fighting. Marlon breaks that nigga arm. He fighting that nigga with one arm. And so like Marlon, he, fucking Cam lets Marlon think he got the upper hand or whatever. Cause he think he about to like kill him because he steals his Marlon got like 6-7 rings from winning games and stuff like that, and there was like a trophy in this case, and Cam like took it out and it was like pointed so you can like stab him, and he was gonna stab him with it, but he ended up dropping it in the fight. Marlon picks it up and he about to stab that nigga. At this point, like they off, like his Cam's arm broken, but they off each other. So he basically think like, oh yeah, like I got your ass, Marlon, right? I got your ass, you know what I'm saying? But mind you, where Marlon was sitting, say this is Marlon's chair, and so where Marlon was sitting in front of him was like this like stage-esque thing, like a tunnel. Like when football motherfuckers run out the tunnel, it was similar to that. And so on that stage was Marlon's football helmet, right? Marlon's football helmet was on the damn stage. So as like they fighting, Marlon gets off of him, he got the thing, but Marlon's on the other side. Cam is in front of the helmet. Cam see that damn helmet, he grabbed that bitch and he fucking mollywops Marlon with the damn. He hit that nigga. And then he like smashed his face in a couple times, And then he dropped the helmet and started like wailing on his ass. Mind you, one of his arms broke. So he like wailing on his ass with one arm. He covered in blood and shit. And again, me personally, I like that shit. Like he hitting that nigga. So, he's covered in blood, and basically like that was like in some essence part of the ritual because he killed him, and now it's like passing on to Cam, and it's up to Cam on whether or not he will want to go through with it. But also like again, like there's like this occult OCC, this occult vibe where it's like Illuminati, like devil, like they have to sacrifice. And so boom, right? Cam is walking out. He got on some pads and no shirt. Like he got on football pads and no shirt. He's walking out covered in blood, arm broke. And it's like the owners, it's like all the people that was at that same ritual party. Like there's Marlon's wife in the front, and then like the fucking owners and shit. They got like the hides on and the mask and all that shit, and like the skulls. They got all the shit on. And there was like the owner, and then one of the people was Cam's agent. That's why I say Cam's agent is fucking messy. Like he is messy as fuck. Okay, so he's there, and so Cam is like, what the fuck is going on, right? Because again, some of the imagery that he was seeing was like there. So like the mariachi, whatever, I don't know what it was. It was like a mariachi tinsel man. I don't fucking know. And so it was like, I guess I'm assuming it was like a mascot-esque type vibe. He was there, and some of the other imagery he was seeing, they were like physically there. And so he's like coming out there, and they on the ground, it's got like this big ass like circle with like a emblem on it. Okay, y'all see that? That was my FaceTime. Okay, anyway. But I'm using my laptop, so you know. But yeah, there was like this big ass circle or whatever, and it had like a emblem in it, or like what's the crest? Maybe a crest. But it was giving Illuminati, okay. So they had it on the ground, and Buddy had to like stand on it or something. And he had to like go up there and like sign his life away, basically. And so what the turn was, or what the plot twist was his dad was a football player, and I'm assuming he was like top tier, might have been in the league or whatever. But again, I didn't see that very beginning part to get that, but I picked up on it later. His dad was like really into football, wanted him to play, gave everything, and his dad ended up dying. So basically Cam was like on this run, like I'm gonna play football, I'm gonna do this for my family. So in that moment when he's like on that thing where the fucking ritual, the big ritual is about to happen, he looks down, and there was fucking a picture of like him and his dad on there. And so basically he starts laughing because he's like, ain't no way my daddy was basically involved in this shit. Basically, that's what I picked up on. Basically, they knew who his fucking daddy was. And he went through this shit. Now, it could be the reason why he dead. Again, I didn't see the very beginning, but that's what I was gathering. Okay. So, fucking, he see that picture. He like laughing and shit, laughing to himself. He don't want to sign the shit. He basically makes up his mind in that moment, like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Like, what the fuck? And then, I'm trying to think, did he grab the sword? He grabbed something. And he was about to, like, I'm trying to think. He grabbed something. But basically, the wife, Marlon's wife, was trying to get him to sign the thing, but he wasn't going for it. And she was like, somebody get him to sign this shit. Like, one of the dudes behind her, they weren't moving. So she get up there, and she got a knife, and she like, fuck it, I'm gonna fucking get him to participate, whatever the fuck, myself. This bitch ended up falling on the damn knife. She didn't even make it to him. She fell on a damn knife and killed herself. And so basically he like picks up like a sword or something. It was a weapon. He picks it up, and like his agent tries to come calm him down, and he's like, fuck that. And so he basically like start killing niggas. And so his agent was like the last person alive, because he ended up cutting the head off of the owner, because these motherfuckers was like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. This nigga's crazy. And so they running, like trying to get out of there. As far as like all the official people, like the owner and all them, he ended up cutting the owner head off. Then he leave his agent the last one standing. And so his agent is on the emblem. And so basically his agent was like, don't kill me, like kill me now, kill me now, kill me now. And Cam was like, nah, I'm cool. He didn't kill him. So Cam like walks off and the agent is on the thing and he ended up like exploding. I'm assuming the reason why like he died is because he was the one that like signed, not say, how could I say it? I'm assuming the agent was the one that somewhat signed his life away. And so like he was trying to get a return on his investment and it didn't happen. So Buddy fucked up and ended up dying. However, I'm still piecing that part together because I'm still like, I feel like either Cam was gonna die if he stayed on the platform, like where the emblem thing was, or again it was like that situation there was like, oh, because this nigga didn't sign the contract, you gotta go. So but that's sort of like a assumption maybe, I don't know. But basically like at the end of it, Cam, he doesn't kill his agent ends up exploding on the platform, he dies. There was a lot of blood, man. Loved that. And so basically he ended up saying, fuck it, like I ain't finna do this, I'm out this bitch. And so that was sort of like a rough picture of the movie, but like it just get to the ending is pretty like straightforward. I think like he don't sign his life away, yada yada. But I think like the underlying message of the movie is like, again, like these idols, like idealizing certain things and people and what that can lead to and how much you will have to sacrifice if you do worship certain things. Because like, you know, people believe in what they believe in. Some people believe in God. Some people believe in this person, higher power, whoop de whoop, wow. Excuse me. Everybody has the things that they believe in. And so I think this movie sort of highlighted like how far religion can go or how far like believing in something can go. And so because of Marlon, him being the quarterback and doing all the things for so long, he was like, so basically what you gonna do? Either you gonna not be the man, or you gonna be the man. And so basically they were saying how like only one of them could be quarterback, only one of them could like walk out the door. And so Marlon was going like, you got to take it from me, and that nigga ended up dying. But yeah, I feel like as far as like performance, again, as far as Tariq goes, I don't know if this was his debut acting movie role per se, but I think he really like held his own. I think this was like really good, honestly. I think he did well. Yeah, I think he did pretty well. I was trying to figure out, and I hate to say it, but I was trying to figure out his race, ethnicity, whatever you wanna, you know what I'm saying? Because he is a little high yellow. And so I did some digging, and I think he's high yellow because his daddy's white. But anyway, that's besides the point. But he did good. He did good. Yeah, he did good. So that's somewhat my reasoning behind like my rating. I feel like maybe if I seen the beginning and cause it was like a shorter movie, so it was like it wasn't like it moved too slow or anything. But I think because I didn't see the beginning, it's like lacking those 8 points, because like those 8 points could like be divvied up if I didn't like the beginning or something happened. You know what I mean? So it didn't get those 8 points to be a flat 9. I think solely off the fact that I didn't see the beginning. And I'm trying to think if there was some other things I didn't like or I didn't necessarily have a taste for. I mean, I don't know. I think like horror, I'm a little bit biased because like obviously there's bad movies. However, like lately I feel like horror this year has been on a run, and this is just added to it. And it's black and it's niggas. Like, I love it. I love it. I love it. So yeah, I really enjoyed him. I suggest people go see it and not necessarily listen. You don't even gotta listen to me, y'all. You ain't gotta listen to me, okay? But I do suggest y'all go see it. Go support black folks. Right on. Go support them. But yeah, as far as Marlon's role, I do think he did really really good. He did really good. And Marlon, he's been like, I feel like he's been like solid. However, he gets better and better and better as he grows. Because like we all know Marlon from Damn and Living Color, the Wayans Bros. Like we know him to be a more comedic actor. However, he got versatility. He got versatility. Requiem for a Dream. What else was Marlon in? Well, White Chicks, but White Chicks is like comedy. But let me see. Let's look up Marlon's history. Marlon Wayans. I know some movies he was in. Marlon Wayans movies. Let's see what he in. Okay. He's in him. He's in a movie called Air. I don't know about Air. He's in The Curse to Bridge Hollow. I feel like that's on Netflix. Respect. I think that's a biopic. The Sextuplets. That was a good one. He played 6 different people. That was good. Naked. I feel like I seen Naked. Obviously a haunted house, and then he got 50 Shades of Black. He was a haunted house again. Norbit. He so was in Norbit. See what I'm talking about? But these are more comedic roles, in my opinion. Him is like serious. Probably I haven't seen The Curse of Bridge Hollow, but that seems more serious. Biopic that probably is serious. Let me see. Norbit, Little Man. What else? Requiem for a Dream. That was like, you know what I'm saying, top tier. And he was in like more classics like Mo Money, Above the Rim, Don't Be a Menace, obviously. Again, but more comedic roles compared to like serious roles. But yeah, this is another one to add to his more serious vibe, in my opinion. And I think like his acting was very much like well-rounded, in my opinion, because he definitely put on a persona. Like he put on a facade, and I think he did well, because you're already putting on a facade because you're acting, right? But I think he played into that very well as far as the character, and being able to sort of show that progression of like, oh, like he's this good trainer, charismatic, but over the course of the movie and as things start to unfold, he becomes like a different version of himself, the actual version of himself, because fucking Tariq, he's like, learning that this nigga's crazy. So yeah, we got it's 8:55 people, probably gonna stay on for a few more minutes. But yeah, anybody got questions? Questions, class? LOL. Maybe I could teach a class about horror movies. What do y'all think? Somebody tell me. I just did a whole lot of talking. Back. LOL. So what did y'all think of my synopsis, my view, my rating, my view, my whatever. What did y'all think? What do we think, folks? Hold on, peoples. What do we think? What do we think, peoples? LOL, maybe my phone is slow. But what do we think, peoples? Let me know. LOL, what's the next thing I should talk about? Should I go see The Long Walk? LOL, I just keep asking questions. Yeah, the next movie that I'm gonna go see is either The Long Walk. Well, they got The Strangers Chapter 2 coming out, but they also got the Demon Slayer movie. However, I haven't seen the series yet, like the anime, the show. I haven't seen it yet, so it's like, should I go watch it? But yeah, I want to see The Long Walk for sure, and then maybe like The Strangers, but that can maybe wait because that probably just dropped. Let me see. Yeah, it just dropped today actually, so we got time on that. Oh, let me see. Let me see if I can go see The Long Walk, because I know that came out like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I don't know, Regal. Anybody seen The Long Walk? Chat. Well, in a young Matt. Chat. Hold on. The Long Walk. What is this, Tuesday? Do they have showtimes up? They got a movie on Tuesday at 7:55. Why they always doing this? They always have movies late as fuck. It's like 7 and then 11. They always have movies late as fuck. Because I usually go to the gym around 7. And I usually be there for maybe an hour. So then after that, you got to wash your ass and shit. And so, yeah. But, yeah, I think him was definitely a good movie. I think, again, y'all should go watch it. My rating is 8.92. I'm going to watch it again. For sure, I'm going to watch it again. For sure going to watch it again. I might go to the drive-in and see what they talking about. What do you think? What is your suggestions, people? LOL. Let me see. Anybody still up here? Let me see. Hold on. But yeah, what do we think? What do we think of my what do we think? Do y'all think it's worth seeing based off what I said? I mean, it don't have to be, but still. But yeah, what do we think, people? LOL. So what? Y'all just gonna watch me ask y'all questions? Y'all want to see the movie or not? I can see the chat. Yeah. LOL. Thank you. LOL. I don't know who else is up here, but thanks, Kayla. 10-10. Oh, 10 out of 10 for my speech. Just yapping at y'all. LOL. I got the music back on because I'm about to end the stream. But thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for being here and supporting the stream. Come back. I'm trying to. I will do better. It's just a matter of golden hour radio. I'm listening with the earbuds. You sound a little low. Not complaining. I do got the music on. Hold on. I do got the music on. Have you been here the whole time? Golden radio hour. If you've been here the whole time, I apologize that I was low. I mean, you know what I'm saying. But if you've been here the whole time, let me know your thoughts. What do you think? What do you think? I be trying to engage, you know what I mean? I don't want to, I can't even fucking get words out. I don't want to just be like, you know what I'm saying? Talking the whole time. I'm trying to be like one of those streamers that actually be like, no, I just came in and missed it. Don't worry, because you can go back and watch. Basically, we talked about the movie Him and my rating of it, and like I sort of broke down some parts. So if you're not trying to hear spoilers, don't watch or like don't go back. But if you don't care, I would suggest going back, watching the stream, letting me know, and then join the next stream. You know what I'm saying? I do a little 1-2, but I'm trying to get my schedule down as far as like when I'm a stream. But right now it's like Monday, Wednesday, Fridays is what I'm looking at, but more so maybe like a Monday or Wednesday or a Wednesday and a Friday. But once I get to like a consistent 3 days, then, you can sort of keep up with that. I've seen the movie and enjoyed it. Thank you. 10s across the board. Applause. Thank you. It was good, wasn't it? It was good. It was good. Because my thing is I seen some people, and again, I think some of the people that gave their rating of it, they weren't black. And so I feel like the reason that's the reason why they rated it a certain way, but it could be impacted that way. I'm gonna be honest, I can't see who you are, but I hope, are you white? Anyway, I'm glad you enjoyed the movie. But yeah, folks, I'm about to hop off. And again, I'm hopefully going to come back on Monday. And on Monday, I think we're going to play My Sims. So I'm excited. No, I'm black. Right on. Bruh, please. These are the shenanigans of my stream, okay? But we're going to be back on Monday. Fingers crossed. And we're going to be playing, but I'll do rephrase white media and make money from it. Repurpose. Period. Get your coin. Get your coin. Yeah, get your coin. Listen, you ain't said nothing but a word to me. But yeah, I'm gonna be back on Monday. I'm gonna be playing My Sims. But if y'all want me to talk about more horror or anything like that, I'm down to talk. We can talk about new movies or we can talk about old movies. Like one of my favorite franchises is Saw. And so let me know, man. This the channel. Subscribe. Give me a like or two. But yeah, I guess I'm going to see y'all in the next stream. We'll see y'all in the next stream.